All right. Yay. Now it's thank you for saving the day, Hannah. I would have been upset if I had to re-record this whole one too. I just literally just record everybody and apparently not doing it. All right. So we are going to be looking at some division questions today. The last thing that we need to do, well, for today, we're going to look at deciding which comes first, the whole number or the fraction. And then next week, we're going to look at a mix of division and multiplication problems together and deciding which one we are going to do. So our focus for today is just division and deciding which comes first, the whole number or the unit fraction. So remember, the only thing you're dividing with is unit fraction. So your answer is always going to have a 1 as the numerator. Let me say that again. All of your answers will always have a 1 as the numerator because we're only working at unit fraction. If this is hard for you to see, you have this same document on Canvas. I have it pulled up before you joined the meeting. All right. Here we go. So number 1 says there are 4 gallons of milk. How many half gallons of milk are there? So it tells us that we have 4 gallons of milk. And in those 4 gallons of milk, we want to know how many half gallons that would be. So Paige, tell me which is going to come first, the 4 or the 1/2? Are we dividing the 4 into something or the 1/2?
I'm sorry. Ma'am.
All right, let's pick somebody else.
Ma'am, what was the question?
The question was, am I going to put the 4 first or the 1/2 first? All right, Xavier, go ahead and tell me, am I going to put the 4 first or the 1/2?
The 4 first.
Very good. So we're going to do 4 divided by 1/2 here because 4 is what I have the total of. I have a total of 4 gallons of milk, and I want to know how many half gallons of milk that would be. So in this situation, if it were me, I'm going to draw a picture of 4 boxes. And then in those 4 boxes, I'm going to divide each of those 4 boxes by what?
2. By 1/2.
Yeah, I'm going to divide them in half. So I'm going to divide each of those into 2. So if I take my milks and I divide them into 2, then we have a half here, 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 and a half here. So how many halves does it take to make this whole?
2.
2. How many halves does it take to make this whole? Hold up your fingers for me. 2. How many halves to make this?
2.
2. And how many halves to make this one?
2.
All together we have 2, 4, 6, 8. So 4 divided by 1/2 would be 8. Remember, when the whole number comes first, then our answer has to be larger than the whole number that we started with. All right, what's the acronym? Tell me the acronym, Landon, that we should remember that can help us here.
KCF.
KCF. Very good. We're going to do keep, change, flip. So we can do keep, change, flip to help us here. So I'm going to keep the 4. The 4 remains the same. I'm going to change the division to what, Zach? Alex, we're not doing KFC chicken. We need just KCF. Zach, what do we change the division to? Multiplication. Very good. So we're going to change the division to multiplication. Hannah G, what does the 1/2 become? think we're lagging. Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay. Hannah G, what does the 1/2 become? If we're going to keep, change, flip, what does the 1/2 become? Two over 1. Very good, Hannah. So that then gives us 4 times 2, and 4 times 2 is 8. Very good. Okay. Number 2, Diana practices the piano for 3 hours each week. She practices half an hour on each of the days that she practices. How many days does Diana practice each week? All right. So it tells us she practices for 3 hours each week. She practices half an hour on each of these days that she practices. So how many days does Diana practice each week? So she's going to practice for 3 hours. She practices half an hour on each of the days. So we need to know how many days. We're looking for how many days does it take her. All right. So in the chat, tell me which is going to come first, the whole number or the fraction? The 3 or the 1/2, which you think is going to come first? Very good. I'm seeing a lot of people say the whole number or the 3. That is true. We're going to put the 3 first because she practices 3 whole hours. Then we're going to divide that by 1/2 because those 3 hours, she does it in 1/2 increments. So we're going to do 3 divided by 1/2. So the same thing that I could use this picture up here that I had already just done, and I can see a 1/2 and a 1/2 makes a whole. So I need 2 halves there. A 1/2 and a 1/2 makes a whole. So that's 2 more halves. A 1/2 and a 1/2 makes a whole. So that's 2 more halves. So that's 2, 4, 6 wholes. The other thing that I can do, what's my acronym? Yes, you need to be working these out with you because you're going to have to fill this out online and submit your answers. If you already have the answers, all you have to do is type in the answers and submit them. KCF. Very good. So somebody raise your hand and tell me what I should write. What would my new problem look like? Let's get somebody. I need your cameras on if all possible, guys, so that I can see what you're doing. Alex, what would my new problem look like? Yes, Jameson, that's correct. Yes, Alex. Alex said in the chat, he said that we would now have 3 is going to keep it. We're going to change the division to multiplication, and our 1/2 is flipped, going to become 2 over 1, and 3 times 2 is 6. Very good. So he would have to practice 6 days in order to get his 3 hours in. And this week we're going to have to practice a total of 6 days. All right. How many 1/3 cup servings fit in the measuring cup shown? So we're looking for how many 1/3 cup servings are in these 3 cups. So which is going to come first, our whole number or a fraction? Chat me and tell me. Which comes first here? Are we dividing the 1/3 among people? Or are we taking the 3 and dividing it into thirds? Very good. I'm seeing a lot of people say the whole that we have 3 cups. So we want to know how many 1/3 cup servings fit in the measuring cup shown. So we have a 3-cup measuring cup. And so we have 3 whole cups. We're going to divide that into 1/3 cup servings to see how many would fit in there. So in this situation, I would say this is a great place for us to use the area model. So I'm going to draw my measuring cup. And here is 1 cup of my measuring cup. Here makes 2 cups of my measuring cup and 3 cups. So I want to know how many 1/3 cup servings are in this. So I need to take each of these cups and divide them into how many equal sections now? Ava, how many equal sections should I make my measuring cup have now? Hold up your fingers for me. Everybody else, tell me how many equal sections I need to make it have. Ava, chat me or unmute yourself and tell me. How many sections should I divide my measuring cup into? Very good, Jameson. Very good, Landon. Hold your fingers up for me, guys, so I can acknowledge you. How many sections should it have if I've not acknowledged you yet? Very good, Kaden. Very good, Bella. Oh, Seth, are you saying 1/3, Seth? That looks like 31. Just tell me how many sections I get what you're saying, but that looks like you want me to make 31 sections.
No,
Right. 1/3 sections. Yes. Yes, Ava, thank you. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to divide it into 1/3 sections. So I need each part to be divided into thirds. Now that I've divided into thirds, I'm going to count how many parts there are. So this would be a third, this would be a third, this would be a third. So I can get 3 thirds in 1 cup. This would be a third, this would be a third, this would be a third. So 2 cups would have 6 thirds. This would be a third, this would be a third, this would be a third. So in all, I'm going to be able to get 9 thirds, or 9 1/3 sections are going to fit in my 3-cup measuring cup. Now, our acronym we can use to help would say KCF. So what would my new problem look like? Aaron, tell us what our new problem would look like. Oh, sorry, I hit the camera.
You would keep the 3.
Yes.
You would keep the 3.
Yes.
You'll change the division multiplication. You would change the 1/3 to 3/1.
I would flip.
And you're gonna multiply that, which would be 9.
Very good. So I'm going to keep the 3. I'm going to change the division to multiplication. I'm going to flip the 1/3 to become 3/1, where 3 times 3 is 9. All right. I had a question that said, do we need to put the models in? No, you do not have to put the models in online. When you're typing your answer to submit it to me, you can just type your answer. But I do want you to have the models in your notebook, because you're going to need to know how to do these models for your test. All right. Our next question said, a father took a bite of a candy bar that left only 3/5 for his children. He split the remaining amount between his 2 children. What fraction of the entire candy bar did each child receive? So the first thing we know, that a father buys a candy bar, and that candy bar has 3/5 of it left. So if it has 3/5 of it left, we know that originally his candy bar had 5 parts. So I'm going to make my candy bar have 5 parts. All right. Then how much of the candy bar did he have left?
2/5.
He had 2/5. Nope. It says the father took a bite of candy bar that left only 3/5 for his children. So he's going to have 3/5. So he has this 5th left for his children. He has this 5th left for his children. He has this 5th left for his children. And this 5th has already been eaten. That 5th is now gone. All right. So am I going to be dividing fraction or whole number in this one? So our numbers are going to be 3/5, and we're splitting it among 2 children. So which comes first, the 3/5 or the 2?
The 3/5.
Okay, Aaron, we got it. You're supposed to be typing it in the chat, love. All right. I have seen a couple people who said that we need to do 2 divided by 3/5. So let's talk about that. If I do, I'm going to write this one in pencil. So I'm going to do 2 divided by 3/5. So if I do 2 divided by 3/5, what does that 2 represent? 2 what?
Children.
2 kids. What's wrong with that?
You can't divide up children.
You can't divide children. Yes, Kaden. Yes, Hannah. Yes, Jameson. You can't split the children. So if you originally said the 2 first, that cannot be correct, because if so, you just committed murder and you killed 2 kids. Do not go committing murder. I am not going to bail y'all out of jail because y'all committed murder today. Don't be committing murder. Don't be murdering any children in my math class. So that should have been a big hint that our 3/5 has to come first, because, all right, let's keep the chat to a minute, guys, unless you're talking about specific math problems. So we have 3/5 divided among his 2 children. So we cannot divide people. We have to divide the candy bar. All right. So, oh, sorry, not the camera again. It tells us that he has 3/5 of this candy bar that is left over, and he's going to divide it among his 2 children. So we're going to take this 3/5 of a candy bar, we're going to divide it among his 2 children. So each child is going to get a section of it. In this situation, each child is going to get 1, 2, 3 parts. So each child's going to get 3 parts. And how many total parts would there be now? If I think about the entire candy bar, how many parts would the entire candy bar have now?
Everyone's frozen.
Okay. Remember, we have to count the entire candy bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The entire candy bar has 10 parts now. So we're going to get 3/10 of this candy bar. In this situation, we're going to be able to get 3/10 of this candy bar. All right. If we wanted to look at this another way, what's my acronym to remember? What are my 3 magical letters? Holler them at me.
Keep, change,
KCF.
KCF. We're going to keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep my 3/5. That's going to stay the same. I'm going to change my division to
Multiplication.
multiplication. Then this 2 is inferred actually is 2 over what? 2 over 1. Very good, Veronica. 2 wholes is 2 over 1. So when I flip 2 wholes, 2 over 1, it's going to become what? 1/2. Very good, Jameson. So we're going to have 1/2. All right. There is no room for cost canceling here. So we're going to do 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 2 is 10. And either way, we're going to get 3/10. On your test, you have got to know how to do the picture. You will see picture representations. You can use KCF to check your work, but you've got to know picture representations as well. All right, number 5. Samara has 5 yards of ribbon. 5 yards of ribbon. Cut the ribbon into pieces that each 1/4 yard long. How many pieces of ribbon will Samara have? So we're looking at how many pieces. All right. So what we need to decide is 5 going to come first, or is the 1/4 going to come first? So chat me, tell me what you think first. Number 5 comes first, or 1/4 comes first, which is our total. All right, very good. I'm seeing people say our 5 is going to come first. So we have 5 pieces of ribbon. We're going to divide each of these pieces of ribbon into 1/4 pieces. So if this is me, then I'm going to just divide. So I'm going to make it have 5 pieces of ribbon. So there's 1 piece, there's 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, and my 5th piece is down here. So here's 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, and 5 pieces of ribbon. Now, in my 5 pieces of ribbon, I'm going to take each one of those pieces and I'm going to divide it into how many parts? Fingers up. How many parts should I divide each of these holes into? Thank you, Kaden. Thank you, Landon. Thank you, Xavier. Thank you, Jameson. Thank you, Rafina. Thank you, Hannah G. All right, so Finger showed us that we need to divide it into 4 sections. So I'm sorry, I keep hitting the camera, guys. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to divide it into 4 sections. I'm going to take this one and divide it into 4 sections. I'm going to take this one and divide it into 4 sections. This one divided into 4 sections, and this one divided in 4 sections. So for each piece of ribbon that I have, how many parts, how many smaller ribbons will I get? So when I take the whole piece of ribbon, how many parts do I get from each whole piece of ribbon?
4.
4. Very good. So I'm going to get 4 from this piece, 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 for a total of how many pieces?
20.
20 pieces. Very good. All those that just chatted me in the chat bar. So that's going to give me a total of 20 pieces of ribbon. She's going to be able to get 20 pieces of ribbon in that. Okay. Our other thing that we can do says keep, change, flip. I'm going to keep the 5. I'm going to change the division to what, Aiden? What do I change the division to? Very good. Thank you for showing me with your arms. You're fine. Other people should be showing me with your arms as well. Aiden, what should I change the division to? Yes, Hannah G. Yes, Jameson.
Multiplication.
Yes, Douglas. Yes, Kaden. Yes, Lynn. Yes, Xavier. Thank you. I'm going to change it to multiplication. Then I'm going to flip my 1/4 to become 4/1. So 5 times 4 is 20. Either way, I'm going to get 20. All right, number 6. Caleb bought 2 pounds of trail mix in a large bag. He wants to put 1/8 of a pound serving of the trail mix into small bags. How many small bags of trail mix will Caleb have? So which is going to be our whole here, the 2 pounds or the 1/8? Which are we going to put first? The 2 pounds or the 1/8 of a pound? Yes, Kaden. Yes, Xavier. Yes, Zach. Yes, Jameson. Yes, Hannah G. Yes, Douglas. Yes, Aaron. Yes, Seth. Yes, Ava. Yes, we're fine. Very good. We're going to put the 2 pounds. He has a total of 2 pounds of trail mix. He's going to divide those 2 pounds of trail mix. He's going to put 1/8 in each bag. So again, if this were me, then I'm going to draw my 2 whole pounds of trail mix. So I'm going to have 2 pounds. Here's 1 pound. Pound is abbreviated LB. Here's another pound. Now I'm going to put 1/8 in each bag. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to divide it into 8 sections. Divide, 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 divide. Now, how many bags can I make out of the first pound of trail mix that I have?
8.
8. How many pounds can I make out of the second bag of trail mix that I have?
8.
Or trail mix, 8. So all together, how many baggies of trail mix can I make?
16.
16, because I can make 8 in my first pound, 8 in my second pound for a total of 16. Now I can also check my work using keep, change, flip. We're going to keep the 2. We're going to change the division to multiplication. We're going to flip the 1/8 to become 8/1, and 2 times 8 is 16. So he can make 16 baggies of trail mix. All right, our next one. We're going to keep on working as long as we can until about 9:50, 10 o'clock. We'll see. The Greenberg Community Center is sponsoring a half-a-mile race. There are 6 water stations spread equally over the course of the race. What is the difference between water stations? All right, so the community center is sponsoring a half-a-mile race. There are 6 water stations spread equally over the course of the race. Which is going to come first here? Is the 1/2 the total, or is the 6 the total? All right, I see some people say 6. Some people are saying 1/2. All right, I've got a lot of 6s and some 1/2s and the fraction. Okay, so let's go back and let's think about this question. The Greenberg Community Center is sponsoring a 1/2 mile race. The water stations are spread equally over the course of the race. So we don't have 6 water stations that are 1/2 mile apart. We have a race, and in this race, this 1/2 mile race, there are 6 water stations. So in this situation, if you chose the fraction first, then you would be correct, because the 1/2 mile is the total amount that we are looking at here. So the race is 1/2 mile. And in that 1/2 mile, along that 1/2 mile, we have 6 water stations that are spread out along that 1/2 mile. So if this were me, then I'm going to draw my 1/2 mile. So we know this would be the 1/2 mile. This is where he is. But in order to do a whole, this would be 1 whole mile. Now we're only looking at the 1/2 mile section of it, but we need to take that 1/2 mile section and we're going to divide it into 6 places, because there's going to be 6 stops along the way. So here's a 1/2, and then we add those in. So I'm going to have 6 stations that are along my 1/2 mile thing, but I need to know what this station here would represent. Each one is how far distance, right? You cannot divide the water stations up. Very good, Lena. We can divide up the mile, but we can't divide up the water stations. So each section is going to be 1 part up. Now, I know that this represents the 1/2 mile, but in order to get my denominator, it's not going to be 1/6, because I have to figure out how many there are in the whole. So I'm going to have to take my whole and divide it as well. So then I'm going to look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in the whole. So each of those water stations is going to be 1/12 of a mile spaced out. Now we can also check our work with keep, change, flip. We're going to keep our 1/2. We're going to change our division to very good, Jameson.
Multiplication.
Change it to multiplication. Very good. Our 6 is actually 6/1. So we're going to flip that to become 1/6. And then 1 times 1 is 1. And 2 times 6 is 12. Very good. Okay. All right. The next question relates to money. How many quarters are in $20? So which is our total? Do we have a total of quarters or do we have a total of $20? Can we split up quarters? Can we divide quarters? Yes. Can we divide dollars? Yes. So that doesn't help us here. We need to decide, are we splitting up our quarters or are we splitting up our dollars? We are going to split up our dollars. So we have a total of $20 and we're going to divide those $20 into quarters. So a quarter is a fourth. So we're going to do 20 divided by a fourth, or in this situation, we know there's 25 cents. All right. Well, let's think what we know. In $1, there are how many quarters? 4. There are 4 quarters. So if we have $20 times 4 quarters per dollar, then how many quarters is that going to be?
80.
80. We're going to need 80 quarters in order to make $20. Now, this is a long one for you to draw a picture for. If you know that in $1 there are 4 quarters, then if we have $20 times 4 quarters per dollar, then we're going to have $80. We can also use that doing keep, change, flip to check our work here. So we're going to keep the $20. We're going to change the division to multiplication. We're going to flip the 1/4 to become 4/1, and 20 times 4 is 80 quarters. I keep wanting to write $80, but it's not $80. So we're going to have 80 quarters there. All right. The next one, a family has 3 boxes of Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies. Each box is separated into 2 equal packs. How many of these packs are in 3 boxes? Okay. So let's think about this. Can I split up boxes of cookies? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down. Can I split up boxes of cookies? Yes. Can I split up packages of cookies? Yes, no, I don't know. Leave me alone. Hello. Yes, I can split up packages of cookies. So I have to decide, am I going to split the boxes into packages or am I going to split the packages into boxes? So which comes first, the 3 boxes or the 2 packs? Very good. Yes, we're going to take the 3 boxes of cookies and we're going, then it says, so a family has 3 boxes of Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies. Each box is separated into 2 equal packs. So we're going to take those 3 boxes. We're going to divide them into half or 2 equal packages. How many of these packs are in all 3 boxes? So here's box number 1. Here's box number 2. And here's box number 3. How many packages are in box number 1? 2. Yes, Landon. Yes, Alex, 2. We have 2 in this package, plus 2 in this package, plus 2 in this package for a total of how many packs? 6. Yes, we're going to have a total of 6. 2, 4, 6. All right. To check it, we can do keep, change, flip. We're going to keep the 3. We're going to change the division to multiplication. We're going to flip the 1/2 to become 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. Very good. All right. What I want you to do now is to work 10, 11, and 12 independently. You can hold up your notebook for each one, or you can chat to me with your answer to each. I want to see what your original number sentence would look like, not your keep, change, flip. I want to know what your original one says because I need to know that you can decide which comes first, the fraction or the whole number. So when you're typing, either hold up your notebook. And if I don't see it, then call me out and tell me you're ready for me to check yours. If not, you can chat me privately. Do one number at a time. So you're trying number 10 first. Yes, you are actually solving them. You are actually solving them, and then you're either chatting or showing me in your notebook what your answer is. And I want to see your division sentence, not your keep, change, flip sentence. If you have it ready and you're holding it up and I don't see it, unmute yourself and tell me you're ready for me to look at yours. All right, so we're going to do, we did the whole loaf divided into 6. We're only accounting for the half that she took to school. So this half here. So each person's going to get 1 part out of the 12. To do keep, change, flip, we're going to keep the 1/2. We're going to change the division to multiplication. We're going to flip the 6. That 6 is 6 wholes, which is 6 over 1. So we're going to flip that to become 1/6. Then 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 6 is 12 for a total of 1/12. Yes, Aiden, that is correct on number 12. All right, the next one tells us Jamal ordered 4 pizzas. How many slices of pizza did Jamal order if each slice is 1/8 of a pizza? In this situation, I can divide the slices and I can divide the pizza. So that's not really going to help me here. But my total is, sorry, I keep hitting the phone. I ordered 4 whole pizzas. That 4 whole pizza was divided into 8s. So that means that there are 8 slices on each pizza. So pizza number 1 comes and it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slices on it. Pizza number 2 comes, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slices on it. Pizza number 3 comes, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slices on it. Pizza number 4 comes, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slices on each. So I'm going to have 8 slices on this one, 8 on this one, 8 on this one, and 8 on this one for a total of 32 slices of pizza. In this situation, my 4 is the whole. I have 4 whole pizzas and I'm dividing into 8s. This denominator tells me that each pizza has 8 slices. If I were to do the keep, change, flip, I'm going to keep the 4. I'll change the division to multiplication. The 1/8 flips to become 8. And 4 times 8 is 32. We have to put the 4 comes first and we're dividing it. It's not going to be 1 out of 32 because I'm taking how many slices can I make in the whole pizza. Remember, if your whole number comes first, you're going to have a whole number answer. Whole number comes first, whole number answer. We made that note in our notes the other day that if you are dividing with a whole number, then your answer has to be bigger than what you started with. Yes, Landon, that is correct for number 12. Alanis, yes, that's correct for number 12. Aiden, I don't know if I told you or not, but that was correct for number 12. All right, last one. A piece of lumber for building a house is 8 feet long. How many pieces that have a length of 1/2 of a foot can be made from the wood? So that means we have 8 total feet of wood. I'm going to divide it into 1/2 pieces. So I could draw 8 things and divide them each in half. I could do a number line. Let's do a number line here to represent this one. So my number line always starts with 0. Then here's 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. I should have started my number line further down. 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, and 8 feet. And then I'm going to take each one of those feet and I'm going to divide it in half. So I took each one of those and divided them in half. After I took each one of those and I divided it in half, then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different sections. So I started with my whole number. So my answer has to be larger than the whole number that I started with. Or I can do keep the 8, change the division to multiplication. The flip, the 1/2 is going to become 2 over 1, and 8 times 2 is 16. Okay. All right. So your independent practice for today is to complete practice number 2. You will need to submit these answers on practice number 1 to show that you are with me on Zoom and that you are participating, not just sitting and watching. So make sure that you go back in and just type in these answers. and then you'll automatically get credit for that if you type in the answers. On your division word problems page practice 2, I want you to write for me the problem. So I need you to write 1/2 divided by 6 or 6 divided by 1/2 and give me your answer. So when you're doing practice number 2, you need to write the equation for me and the answer to that equation. I'll be on for a few more minutes for anybody who has questions and wants to stay on with me. If not, then I will see you on Tuesday, unless you need me during office hours. I love you. Have a great weekend.